Hey gorgeous, good to see you girl. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do us another Halloween inspired makeup tutorial, and this time we're going for some really easy to do pumpkin patch inspired eye look. So I feel like I'm okay at doing like graphic slash costume makeup, but honey, I'm nowhere near the best, and I feel like so many people this year are going for like really intricate and even gory, crazy makeup for Halloween. I don't want to do that. I want to go the opposite way and do some like really like simple, fun, easy to do, wearable makeup tutorials for Halloween this year. So that will be my theme for the rest of the week and really until Halloween comes, girl. So that is what we are going to focus on for my Halloween inspired makeup looks, and we need is some orange eyeshadow, matte or shimmer, whatever you got laying around. If you've got more than one, like two or three laying around, grab them, girl. It'll make it even better. And then you need some black liquid liner, whether that's like in pen form or the little, gosh, I don't know where mine went, but you know what I mean, the little dip-in brush. And you also need some green liner or like even a dark green shadow, be it a matte or a shimmer, very similar to Buzo in the Magic palette here. And that is it. So we are going to get started. I'm going to throw some primer and translucent powder on my lids as per usual, and we will get going. Alright, gorgeous. So I'm going to start off with one of my favorite orange shades, and that is Riley in the Violet Voss Ride or Die palette. And I'm going to start in my crease, but I am not going to make like a really defined crease or kind of pull it out. I'm going to make this more of a rounded eye look, somewhat similar to what you would do for a halo eye. Now I'm going to go in with my super big fluffy diffuser brush, but you can go in with any like big and fluffy blending brush to get this going. And to start, I'm just going to throw her all over the place. Now don't be concerned with keeping it off your lid area, but do pull it up fairly high. I'm going to take it all the way to the bottom of my brow bone there. And I'm just gonna do the windshield wiper movements, and instead of like really going in there, I'm just laying this brush flat and doing it. See how it's kind of making more of a rounded shade there? I like it. That's what we are going for. Do decide that you want to cut your crease a little bit. To add just a touch of definition, you can go in with like a warmer toned brown shade and just a smidge of it, and kind of take a smaller blending brush. I'm using the mini tapered 121 from Luxie. It's literally just a mini blending brush here. And I'm going to take just a smidge of it, and instead of putting it all over in the crease, I'm going to put it in the outer edge just a little bit, and just a little bit on the inner edge right there. Now I am going to use a little bit of my favorite concealer, the Instant Age Rewind Eraser for Dark Circles from Maybelline, and I'm just going to use a tiny bit to brighten up my lid and kind of semi-cut my crease. I'm really not worried about getting it that usual teardrop shape that I normally like for my cut creases, but I'm going to use this to kind of make that circular shape even more prominent before moving on to the next step and shadow. So I'm just going to take like literally just a little bit to brighten it up, and we will call it good. Like I said, try to focus on making more of a rounded shape. I like to start a little further away from my inner corner and just go from there. I took that concealer like pretty much all the way to the outside, just left a little bit of that darker orange to hang around and add some mystery to my crease. Now I'm going to go in with my brightest orange shade, and it is a matte. You can definitely use a shimmer if you'd like. I'm going to use the Zulu palette by Juvia's Place and use this Pretty Lady red at the top. And for this, you could use your like your everyday regular eyeshadow packing brush if you want, but I'm gonna use like a small flat, like really thick and somewhat stiff, like stippling brush almost. This is the Luxie Mini Flat, the 151, and I'm gonna just start packing that bright orange shade all over the place. Woo! There she is. And I feel like instead of just swiping it on, especially since this is a matte, even with a shimmer, if you can just kind of pack it on and pat it on there, you will get the most pigmentation out of it. And then we are going to move on. Alright, gorgeous. So as you can see, I got that bright orange all over my lid. Now for the next step, girl, if you're like me and you have trouble drawing a straight line on your eye anywhere, because all the time, this will be the look for you. What we're going to do is draw the pumpkin lines here, and we're just going to kind of go around the orange to start with, and then draw kind of like little half C's and backward half C's, and just kind of make the shape of our pumpkin. Now you can use a regular pen for a liquid liner, especially if it's like a really thin small tip. It'll work really well, but today I'm going to go in with the Sigma E10, which is just a small 10, a little eyeliner brush, and I'm going to use my favorite drugstore liquid liner. In fact, my favorite liquid liner ever for this sort of thing, the e.l.f. Black Liquid Liner, and I'm just going to dip it in here and get started. Now make sure you go in with a light hand, because you can always add more black liner to your eye, but girl, it's hard to take it back, you know what I mean? So I'm going to go in really light, and we are just going to go from there. I'm going to start on the outer edges here and work my way towards the middle. Now, don't worry if it's not perfectly rounded, girl. We're going to go for more of a heart shape. Plus, when's the last time you ever saw a perfectly rounded pumpkin? Okay, so that is what we are going for today. Whenever I use like a little liner brush, I like to wipe just a little bit off the edges to get rid of that excess, so I have less of a chance of really like making it bleed, so to speak. So that is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna start at the bottom and go up top. And there we got the beginning. Still letting it dry just a little bit, and I find the best way to do that is by raising your eyebrows and kind of keeping your lids a little flat. Now, I did mess up in a couple of places and I have a smidge of bleeding going on, but do not worry about that right now, because we're going to go back in and touch it up and clean it up just a smidge. Now we are going to get started on the half C's to draw the rest of the little pumpkin lines. And that's basically all we're going to do. We're going to start from the point of the little heart shape at the top and just kind of make a little half C on each side of our eyelid there. And I'm going to go back in with my little Sigma eyeliner brush and use my e.l.f. eyeliner again, and that is what we are going to do. Now, if you're doing it the same way that I am, really do not forget to wipe it just a little bit to get rid of that excess, because that is generally what causes the bleeding. And here we go. Also try to keep them equally spaced. Oh, I blinked. That's okay. We're gonna clean that up too. No worries. All right, gorgeous. So I finished up with those half C's, and we definitely have some touching up to do. And once your liner dries, that's the time. Some of those spots were being kind of negative Nancy's and being stubborn, so I put just the tiniest bit of my concealer on there. And now I'm going to pack that orange back on, and it's like good as new, girl. Good as new. Baby doll, now that we've cleaned that up, we're going to take the green eyeliner or your dark green shadow, and we're going to do the little stem at the top. And I'm just going to kind of make like a little triangle pointing to the outer side of my eyelid. Since I'm using a cream liner, I'm going to use one of my favorite little beauty hacks. To sharpen it up, I'm going to take an almost dry makeup wipe here, and I'm basically just going to put it around it and twirl it around to sharpen it. There we go. Because this is a plastic little pen, so you can't just, sharpen the pencil. So you just take it like that, and this helps give it a tip again. And now it is sharpened-ish, so I'm going to draw the final step for our little pumpkin. I'm going to draw like a little squiggly line to be like the little pumpkin vine in the pumpkin patch for my wing today. I did use my black liner pen here from Absolute New York, the Duo Stroke. I used the thinner end to kind of tight line my upper lash line from the top also. Now this one doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be straight, so girl, you draw away and make it as like fancy and big as you want to. You can take it going off half your face, whatever, girl. Alright, darling, since my little guy came home, I went ahead and finished off the look. Where to start here? Okay, so I highlighted my inner corner and brow bone with Mint Condition from Jeffree Star, and I went ahead and smoked out my lower lash line just a smidge with this brown right here. I think it kind of tied the whole eye look together, and I decided to go ahead and pull that green liner up at the top for our stem and the little vine out just a little bit more, and I'm totally feeling it. Now I also use the Cosmoholic brown gloss that I got for my lips, and then for my cheekbones and nose and cupid's bow I also used So Freaking Gold from Jeffree Star with just a hint of Gold Digger from Artist Couture. So yeah, that is about it for today. My final thoughts on this is it does take a little bit of time, and for cleaning up the bleeding with the black eyeliner on your eyelid, you are gonna probably want to take just a smidge of concealer at the end of your brush and kind of dab it on the little areas that have bled, and then go back in and pack on that orange color because a lot of black liners are a whole lot more stubborn than, like, say, an orange matte shadow. Otherwise, I think it turned out pretty good. It was a little bit of a rough start, but girl, we got her done, and it is somewhat of an easy look to achieve. Just don't drive yourself crazy by trying to perfect anything. But for now, let me know down in the comments what you thought of my pumpkin patch inspired eye look, and I love to hear from y'all, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and go out and spread some love and positivity today, baby. We could all use some extra. You're beautiful, and I love you. Mwah. Bye, everyone.